Hey YouTube, this is Dr. Wanda. I wanted to do a follow-up to a discussion that opened up about proper titles in African culture. This was a video that Gia and I did a couple of days ago. We got some really good feedback and advice and support and suggestions and corrections. I really welcomed all of that, and again, this is a growing process for both of us. But I also want to give an opportunity for Isaac to speak up and speak on his behalf of what this or why this conversation came about so late. Because now we're, like I said, we're 2 years shy of a second anniversary.
Yeah, 2 months shy.
2 months shy of a second anniversary.
Yeah.
And so it just has arisen as a topic, and that was one of my frustrations. Was like, why are you raising this now when we've reinforced a particular type of behavior? And so I wanted to ask Isaac, why? Why did you raise that with Gia? What changed that you felt on that day you needed to say something?
Yeah, well, ever since I met you, I've known Gia to be my daughter, my stepdaughter, to say. But anytime we talk, she always mentioned my name, Isaac. I never had any issue with it though. But this is me, and I don't have any issue with that. Because I know these are children who are coming from other part of the world, who really don't understand certain cultures. So she came to Ghana and she called me by my name, Isaac, and I was like, no, this is the right time for me to correct her and let her know that in Africa setting, or Ghana especially, a grown-up person is not called by a younger one by his or her first name. You either call him or her uncle or auntie, even if it's not your direct uncle or auntie. Yeah, this is what I know. You see, you can meet someone that you don't know anywhere, but because this person is an elderly person, we call him or her uncle. Yeah. So I realized I need to sit her down and let her know that Ghanaians find it offensive to call an elderly person by their first name by a younger person. Yeah, so that is why yesterday I told the Gia, it is not right for you to call a grown-up person by their first name.
Yeah, and see, part of the frustration is your culture, and you've known your culture for your entire life. And so, Isaac and I came to know each other. He was watching a lot of the work that I was doing in Tanzania, and I was just arriving home, and he sent a friend request, and we began this friendship. And so it's always been a very open friendship, in that once I loved him, we're talking, we're video chatting. And so my mom comes through, hi, Isaac, whoever comes in my house, hey, this is Isaac Agbosu, this is my sweetie. Okay, hi, Isaac. Gia's calling him Isaac. When I introduced him to my son, my eldest, who finally met him, he referred to him as Isaac. Isaac never said, hey, you all need to refer to me this way, and this and that one can refer to me that way. And so, I felt sort of cheated. I consider it a loving act to correct. It's not always punitive. You're not always being mean, getting anybody together, making them feel bad, but you actually can be protecting them, because my fear is that people are assuming that Gia is just rude, just an irritating, another one of those badass American kids that comes over to Africa, and they're just ill behaving, and you can't teach them nothing. When in fact, in America, it's not that there isn't any rules of conduct. It's not like every young person can call the older person by their first name, but it's all relative to what the person deems acceptable. So there are tons of people, maybe this is the basketball coach, and so everybody calls the coach Rick, and so that's just what y'all call him, and we have all these rules of names and then nicknames. So yes, your name is, Mr. Rick Johnson, but everybody calls you Dutch because when you was a kid growing up, you was the best one playing Dutch, and so Dutch has stuck with you your whole life. And do you understand? So it's all this other nuances that go on with just Black culture, with just names, renaming, nicknames, your musical name, your artist name. And so people aren't always committed to using names based off of age, but rather using names based off of sort of your job or your role or what, kind of what the community has named you. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have nicknames here. I have seen.
What you calling that man out there?
Yeah, well, I would say he's a younger person that I call by I call him by his nickname. But I've seen some kids also
right,
calling
but that's
him
not
by,
his name.
Yeah, that's not his name.
Now, and when you sent that child, he calls him Contombre.
Yeah, Contombre. Yeah, and
Okay.
that little guy also called him Contombre.
And you said go give this to him, and the whole time the little boy called him Contombre, but he didn't call him uncle. And he didn't call him bruh. He called him Contombre.
Because that is his nickname. So, with nicknames, people just accept it like that.
Right, but she doesn't, I don't even call you a nickname. I've never given you a nickname. I only call you your name. I don't even know if Isaac has a middle name. If he has a middle name, I don't know it, and I don't call him that. Yeah. And one time he challenged me on that. Like, why don't you, you've never called me nickname or an endearing name. Why? I'm just like, it took me forever to be able to pronounce Agbosu, and so I was always calling him his full name to get mastery over that last name.
Yeah. When you got to know my nickname, you thought maybe that was a name that you couldn't understand it. Wow.
No, the nickname that popped up on the social media was Logos, which is very much a Latino word, but I've heard Logos. I don't have a problem with Logos. What I have a problem with was when you're dealing with social media. On social media, I'm either Wanda Evans-Brewer or I'm Dr. Wanda Evans-Brewer. Like, you don't get any of these other nuances of me. Now, of course, I have a nickname. I have a maiden name. My maiden name is Graves. I'm actually Wanda Graves. People who know me from Detroit, Michigan would know of a Wanda Graves. My brother would call me Joe because I'm actually Wanda Joe. That's actually my first name. My mother, affectionately calls me Dusty because, I dress up in pretty dresses, but I have no problem taking off my shoes, walking barefoot. I'll sit down on the ground. It's all this stuff that I do where Dusty would be applicable. But online, I'm straight-laced. It's either Wanda Evans-Brewer or it's Dr. Wanda Evans-Brewer. So when he came up with this Logos, it was like, no, don't start playing. Like, you be up there, you're married, you represent yourself as Isaac Agbosu. I don't want to see all these nicknames because I feel like that's a way to be deceptive. Like, you need to represent who you are at all times if you want people to take you serious.
Yeah, and you're right. We went. I told you, I've lived all my life in Temanu Town. So finally we go to Temanu Town, and you heard somebody calling that
Logos. I was like, oh, so he. Yeah. This is a name because I had a fit about Logos.
Good.
Okay,
that guy he called my nickname without a bra or uncle, But if he should call me Isaac or Agbosu, he's going to add bra Isaac or bra Agbosu.
Right.
He knows that. But he called me Logos. We are cool with it. Nobody, no offense.
Right,
but
I would expect that from someone that you've grown up with in the community. I also expect that culturally. Okay. Yeah. We came to know of Ghana. We came after 2 years. We spent 2 years east because Gia's a Timber Newtown girl and Gia loves Ghana. But anybody that knows me personally knows I'm actually an East Africa person. I love Tanzania. I'm even in the process of building a house in Tanzania. I just find that spot, that area, to be highly hospitable and just very loving. It's very, it's more country than tribal. So when you go there, you hear less about I'm this, I'm that, and more about them just representing themselves as Tanzanians. So I'm a good fit for them, okay? But nonetheless, I fell in love with a West African, so I'm West. So we really didn't know anything other than the stuff that squeaks through media or, entertainers. We knew Ghana was Kente. We knew, we knew of Afro beats. We knew certain artists that sing here. I knew Kwame Nkrumah, and that whole Pan-Africanist energy. So it's very, very little. Maya Angelou spent some time here, sort of following Dr. King and others, as an activist. You understand what I'm saying? So I knew something, but really, at the end of the day, you're talking about 5 or 6 things. We really didn't know nothing. And it's not just Ghana. Like in general, I find Africans to be very polite and very structured and very respectable, but there's an effort to always show some interconnectedness. Okay, so I understand the concept of uncle and that even in Uganda, everybody's a cousin, everybody's a brother, and then you find out, no, this isn't your blood brother. This is your longtime friend, or they so close with the family, or however that works out. Well, it's the exact opposite in America. Okay, who is your blood is the people in your immediate family, and then the connectedness of what you can describe on a family tree. So you do collect people. You do have God brothers, gift sisters. You do have people, best friends that are so close to you that you identify them as a brother or sister. But in general, like that does not determine the title that you greet them with. And so there's no training in that for us. We do know that when people, if I had introduced you as Mr. Agbosu, she would be calling you Mr. Agbosu. Yeah. And there would not be a lot of flexibility with that in her mind.
Yeah, that is right. I told you that this is something that I realized. When Gia came, the name that she had, that's how she goes.
Yes.
Yeah. She had Senunu, go Senunu.
All the time.
Joseph. Though Joseph and Senunu.
Well, she was calling Joseph homework buddy.
Yeah.
She was because he was introduced to her as the homework buddy, because she said, "Mom, I want you to meet Joseph, the homework buddy." Yeah, and it was always that combination.
But she will tell you that if she's with Joseph, the student who comes around Joseph don't call him just Joseph.
Right, but she's 10 and she came east at 8, like the ending of 8, of being 8 years old. So like, we don't always make the cultural connections. We don't always connect the dots, which is why I wanted Isaac to explain, like, and I wanted him to understand, like, it's not just her. Other people will bring their children. Like, it's a loving act from day one to set the tone and say, this is the expectation in this nation.
Yeah, you see, if you will recall, anytime I'm making a post about you, though you are my wife, I don't want to omit the title doctor, because we know how people get offended when you don't address them, right at the right way.
You talking about Wanda?
Yeah, so
I have none of those ego problems.
And if you remember, anytime I'm talking to somebody on the phone, if I want to mention your name, I mention doctor.
Yeah, and listen, we have had disagreements about that. Okay, he is good for mentioning doctor and not so good for mentioning wife. And so I don't like that. What I've explained to him is that, here I am on a public venue doing, I'm a transnational, I'm a Pan-Africanist, I'm an education specialist. I bring books and equipment and technology. I do all of this sort of just, personalized philanthropy. So that means I get to meet a lot of people, men and women of all sorts of walks. And I spent a long time doing that single, okay? And so because he deletes wife, a lot of times, I get this male attention and then he's offset by it. Why does this person want to be, how did this become a friend request? It's like, look, I'm married, living single. I look single because even when you're talking about me, you're so focused on the title of doctor that you delete, to me, the higher title, which is wife. And I consider it a higher title because, this is a covenant. We agreed to set all others apart for each other, and that the only person that we're sort of folding to is the Father himself. And so that's greater to me than a PhD. There's nothing greater than an agreement that you make with the Father, to me. But when I hear, the wife deleted, it's like, okay, then I'm just a colleague. That's how it comes off to America. Mm-hmm. To my family and friends, it looks like, oh, that's his colleague friend. That's a professional woman that he knows. That does not mean that I'm married to him.
Well, that's a good point though, but I've told you several times that this is me. I don't really spread my marital issues on Facebook or social media.
That's a title.
Yeah,
we are talking about titles.
Okay, yeah, like my wife post. My wife, I've told you, this is. I've posted a lot of things about
Isaac, I don't see how they separate. My wife, doctor.
Well, that is
how are they separate?
Yeah, I really understand what you're saying, but to be splashing your wife on Facebook.
How are you splashing? We're not talking about sexy pictures. We're talking about you own me, I own you.
You see, this is Africa. I've known a lot of. At least I'm a Ghanaian. I've lived in Ghana for so many years now, and we know certain things. Like I know,
so we know certain things.
It is nice for you to let people see the woman behind you. But sometimes Ghanaians. Why is he always putting up his wife there? Is he the only one who's married?
No. You mixing pears with peaches. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that technically I have a title that you need to respect and I need to respect, and that title, as far as you're concerned, should be wife. Wife should come before Miss. It should come before doctor. It should become you should value that. You gave me the title. You asked me to be your wife. So why would that be deleted from anything?
Well, for me, I've not.
And listen, he doesn't post that much of my stuff, so it's not that serious.
I haven't deleted anything.
You should use it, sir. Just like you want Gia to use bruh or uncle or mister, you should use it. I consider the title wife respectful.
Well, I understand. For me, if the two of us know that we are married and nobody knows on Facebook, I'm cool with that. You see?
Do you really think this is a Facebook issue?
I don't think it's a Facebook.
Okay, this is really not just a Facebook issue. I think it's just a proper title, whether Facebook or no Facebook.
Well, you are right on that, but you see, I'm kind of reserved person. You've known me, for some time now, and you know how I react towards some things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see, I've told you, even it will be very difficult for you to see pictures of my children on social media. Like
I don't want to
Facebook.
see pictures of your children.
Yeah, because there are a lot of things I've kept to myself for a very long time.
But see, once again, you're mixing peaches with pears and now pomegranates. I'm not talking about pictures of children. I'm not talking about privacy issues. I'm talking about proper titles. I'm talking about the same way you want to be called Mr. or Bruh or Sir. There should not be a deletion of a proper title either. And I think that there's a misconception that goes off when you don't refer to people who they are. So yes, I am doctor, okay? And yes, I am a teacher and I'm professional and I do outreach and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, the biggest title I have with you is wife.
Yeah.
I'm not your doctor.
Well, those the important people,
I can be your doctor, but I'm not your doctor.
Yeah, but this is I see it as, like I said, a Ghanaian would not be happy if you don't address him or her the right way.
And a black woman that has transferred her entire life over to your country to be with you because she's your wife would not be happy without that title being used as well.
Yeah, you see, when we are...
See, this is cultural stuff.
Yeah, but when we are home, I call you by your nickname. I call you Joe.
And you can call me what you want to, because no one is going to want to show interest in me. No one is going to see me as potential date material because of my nickname. But if they don't see that this man who sometimes accompanies me and sometimes does not, I look like it's fair game. It looks like, oh, she ain't hard on the eyes. Perhaps I can approach her because she doesn't appear to be married. And this man with her has not identified any sort of connection or, loving ownership, for lack of a better way to phrase it. Yeah, you to me, you open up a problem that doesn't have to be there. I feel like everyone, that it's a lovely thing when you say, I say, this is my husband, Isaac Akbosu. That's a respectful thing to not only because that is who you are, that's the proper title, but also to let other suitors, other women in the room know, yeah, you may think he's a cutie, but he actually is taken.
Well, yeah. You're right on that too. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but there are a lot of things I won't put up on social media.
These are the issues. When it's time to teach and understand and transfer, you can't throw up a red herring. You can't throw in a topic we're not talking about. I'm not talking about social media. Gia is not even on social media, so she's never referring to anything.
Well,
okay?
I think we deviated into the social media thing.
No, we deviated into social media because we're talking about titles. But I'm staying on the topic, which is titles. It's not children, it's not images, it's only proper titles. So you're saying the proper title for an elder, and you guys use the term elderly, and for us that's somebody old like my mother. But for an elder, for someone older than her, would be to use the Mr. Mrs. version, which is bra, which is she's not gonna call anybody her uncle and aunt. That's good. She's gonna struggle a little bit with that.
We know.
Or rather, I'll struggle with it more.
We know you don't use bra sister thing over there.
Oh my God, we use it every day.
Yeah, but in Ghana, it's like it's part of us.
No, you're wrong. We do. Actually, bruh and sister we use all the time. But you don't get these are earned titles. So Lexine is a sister to me.
No, so I've never heard Gia calling Lexine sister Lexine or
because she's too young to have that level of sisterhood. It was a reflection of a connectedness that we love each other even though we're not blood, but we've met each other and we share a like-mindedness. And so yes, you're my sister.
Yeah. But you see the difference when you come to our setting. Gia will call Lexine sister, and there's no issue with that.
Gia would never call Lexine sister.
When it comes to our setting, that's what I'm telling you.
I've never seen her do that. I've only heard her use your auntie and your uncle.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that Gia...
You're saying it's acceptable to do that?
Yeah, in Ghana. That's what I'm telling you.
You're not gonna get me to call somebody sister that I don't have an affection for.
Very good.
I'm just that, and that's one of the breakdowns too. Is that for us, for you, it's just on general principle. Period. Everybody gets this title. You know, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter whether you are
in the U.S. For us, the American Black, these titles are earned. You don't just get to be called nobody's aunt or uncle or sister or brother. You don't just get that. For what? Who are you? We don't know you.
Yeah. So a lot of times I've thought like, how does Gia call Sheila? Sheila who lived with you.
She called her Sheila.
Yeah, but it's rude here in Ghana to call.
Right, but Sheila set the tone for that. She set the tone for that.
Well,
See, each adult sets the tone for what he or she feels is respectable in the U.S. Someone will correct you quick. Don't you call me back. You call me Miss Ann. You call me Miss Betty. They'll tell you that. Whereas other adults, everybody calls them that because it almost is a nickname. Like it's okay. No one cares.
Yeah. But Ghanaians I'm sure Ghanaians will reply and tell you that
the Ghanaians have been replying. They've been very lovingly explaining and correcting. But the whole issue for me is not the correction. I accept the correction. I get it. What I don't like is I don't think a correction should have that much of a window. And so what I'm appealing to is saying, these are things, I'm telling you, these will be issues with us.
Yeah, okay.
Period. This is not unique to Gia. Gia is not from Pluto or Mars. She didn't come down with this. And so you have to make it up in your mind to share with your own people that like when we start that, you need to correct it at the beginning. Not once a behavior has been reinforced, because that is where feelings get hurt and impressions get made. They have the saying, first impressions are lasting.
Yeah.
What Gia does right, she does right, and what she does wrong, she does wrong. And then there's that area where you don't know. And so it's for you culturally to teach us. You have to be open to teaching us, but you let us like go out and flap in the wind. It's not a problem for me because I don't have these title issues. But for her, who is a grandma baby, and then she's always with, this is my last baby, she's always with me. And sometimes Gia even forgets that she's even a kid. You see where she gets into a gray area where sometimes she forget that she's even a child because she can cross some of those lines.
Yeah, it's true. And
she has to be helped to get back in order.
There are times I've, even confronted you, like, why have you allowed Gia to sit in your chat with other grown-up?
Well, if you're traveling with your child, where am I placing her?
Good, but you see, when this is Africa, this is Ghana, we don't allow children to sit in the midst of adults.
And it's not unique to Africa. For the most part, with blacks, they don't like their children in the middle of their conversation. That's responsible, intelligent, But what do you do, which you've never traveled any place? Where are you placing this child? Where do I send her? When I come to visit someone, I don't know anybody. I don't know the community. I only know the people that I'm sitting with. Where do I send her? And then she's highly intelligent, and you've admitted yourself. She's an observer. She will sit and listen. She's a big old giant sponge. So that's a problem. But it's not a problem because we're trying to be a problem. It's a problem because you have before you had a single woman traveling with a child, going to foreign places where they don't know anyone, don't speak the language, and they've been invited in by a particular setting, so we're kind of stuck.
Yeah, I do understand, Well, Gia.
You had a loss for words.
Gia should excuse herself when you are having a conversation with your other.
Gia should excuse herself, and Gia has tried and does her very best. Okay, sometimes she's better than other times, but that's that gray area that I'm talking to you about. If you spend your time with an elder and your mother. Like the majority of Gia's time has been with her mother and her grandmother. These are the two people that she talks with, she argues with, she hangs with. She understands this is what she. There is a boundary that has been crossed. That and I'm not excited about it all the time. That other adults can come in and help. The parent can only do so much. That's what all of us. That whole saying that African proverb, it takes a village. It literally takes a village. Other competent, loving adults have to come in and help teach lessons that maybe I've dropped the ball on, or I've taught but needs to be retaught where she can be reached. But what can't happen, or at least what I don't like when it happens, is that someone sits on the sidelines. They knew something that we didn't know. They don't tell us, and then we get the and we get the finger pointed at us like we're so horrible, and we're not. We're not. There are things that we know, and there are things that we don't know, but we're also, as much as we're coming into a culture, we're bringing a culture with us.
Yeah, that's very true. Some people will, like you've said, will see you doing the wrong thing in their territory.
From their perspective.
Good. But they may not be able to approach you because
they know you could approach us. You were talking to us for a whole year, okay, through technology, and you at any given point you could have said, "Hey, listen, baby, tell her blah 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 blah." Now you only know why you didn't, but these cultural things, some of them become like whooping sticks. Like for example, and this is not language. Okay, I took the money. I took my money and I stuck it in my bra, and Howard had it fit. No, don't do that. We don't do that. I said, I'm black. I said, my grandmother, my mother, all aunts, everybody they take their money and stick it in their bra at the blink of an eye.
I don't know why she said that, because I've seen my mom doing same. I've seen some.
I'm telling you what she said. It upset her.
I've seen Ghanaian women, market women doing same. So for me, I don't know why she did that. But did you ask her why?
Listen, she was so animated and over the top. But the bottom line was, I told her, I said, listen, I'm an adult. I'm going to stick my money wherever I want to stick my money. You're not going to push that cultural issue on me. If you don't do that, don't do that. But this isn't something that breaks the law or abuses anybody or causes havoc. It's just where I'm sticking my money at. Anyway, I digress. So we've sat down and talked about this. I'd love to hear your feedback. I gave Isaac an opportunity to represent Isaac, so now you know his thoughts behind it. And I've appreciated all of your comments encouraging me to really pick up, like this. It's never too late to reinforce new habits with Gia Boo. Gia Boo is enthusiastic about sort of calling Isaac Mr. Isaac, which is heavy, but we do it all the time in preschool. As preschool teachers, we get called Miss Wanda, Mr. Bob. It happens. And someone told me to be gentle with myself and take my time, and eventually it will sort of sort itself out as the ear and the engagement keeps pushing the proper titles, that we'll just naturally start flowing with it, because that's just kind of how things go, right? Anyway, I'm signing off. You got anything you want to say before we go?
Well, I want to thank every one of you, those who have been sending us messages. We really appreciate them. We read them every day, and we are encouraged by your messages. We want to thank you so much. And I want to promise you, next time I want to be the interviewer to say, because we are 2 months shy of our second anniversary, and I want to really ask my wife how he has been able to get this courage, to fly all over to Ghana, get married in Ghana, when people were being scammed online.
Oh, why they were being scammed?
Very good. I really want to find out from her, because I recently I was just discussing something with her and I was like, did you really think about all these things? So on this video I really want to know more about her.
This should be interesting.
What encouraged her, and if she ever read or saw what was happening to other
Of course, but next interview. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.